Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How are you, Ryan?
I'm doing well.
Great. So welcome to Real Estate Redefined, a new show we've got here. And I'm with Ryan Newlin right now. Ryan, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell the folks a little bit about yourself.
All right. I'm Ryan Newlin. I'm the owner and broker at ERA Newlin and Company. I've been the owner for about 3 or 4 years now. So excited to be here. Just want to talk about real estate.
Yeah.
This is our, I guess, maybe 2.5 episodes.
Yes,
we did a half
2.5.
episode on Friday,
Yeah.
so it's been fun so far.
Good.
The weather threw everyone for a loop this morning. So
Oh my goodness, yeah. It is not pleasant.
not at all.
Not pleasant. Yeah.
There was not as much ice on the roads as I thought when I left.
Yeah, I was really glad for that because we get here, pretty early. So
Yeah.
I was glad to not drive in ice. So, but you have a lot of things you want to talk about today.
Well-
so what should we start with?
Well, it is wintertime. It
Yeah.
feels like it out there.
Yeah.
I wanted to start with kind of, the real estate market in San Angelo and where we sit this year compared to
Yeah.
last year. Talk about selling your home or buying a home during the winter.
Cool. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. And before you get started, let me just say, if anybody has a question, go ahead and comment on the Facebook pages. We're streaming live to the KLST page and the ERA group page
I'm not
there.
sure where they show up on
So,
here. I'm not sure where they show up on here. Oh, is it on the right?
it's on, yeah, it should just be
Okay.
down in the bottom.
Perfect.
But yeah, just drop a question or comment concern and Ryan will do his best to answer it. So, all right, let's get started with the wintertime sales. How are we looking?
Well, we're looking good. This year, we've had quite a few more houses sell than last year at this time.
Great.
This time of year. And prices are up. I don't know if they're going to stay up for too much longer, but we are, about $10,000 higher per sale this year than last year.
Wow.
So if you've looked on any of the websites, the average price right now on sales this year is around $200,000.
Wow. So good
Yeah.
for the sellers, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. The buyers not so
Yeah.
much. But one question we always get in real estate is,
Yeah.
if I want to sell my house, I need to sell my house. It's the winter time. I've heard that I'm not supposed to sell during the winter.
Oh.
I've ran this stat every year for the last few years, and it always turns out true. But the summertime is definitely the busiest time to sell in San Angelo.
Okay.
The summer of 2018, there were 367 sales during July and August.
Wow.
That winter, though, during December and January, we had 261 sales. So not a huge, there's a difference, but real estate does not come to a standstill during the winter.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of houses moving. I think a lot of that's due to the military. There's a lot of moving going on with the military in the summer and the winter. Mm-hmm. So they keep those houses going. And a lot of them might rent houses, and those turn into houses that eventually sell.
Yeah. So basically, there's not a bad time, I guess, or worse time.
Not really in this town. I'm sure
Yeah.
in other markets, but San Angelo is so insulated from everything else that's going on in the country that our market just moves on along during the winter and summer months.
Wow. Good.
Yeah.
Good news for everyone all around.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I know you brought some other notes there about first-time home buyers.
Yeah, and Vicky and Thurman, who were in yesterday, talked a little bit about it, but
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to reiterate that there's a few different types of loans that a first-time home buyer can use, and it really doesn't even have to be a first-time home buyer.
Mm-hmm.
Like back in 2008, they had plans specifically for first-time home buyers. Now it's anyone can use them, but typically they get taken advantage of by first-time home buyers. So
Right.
you got your regular FHA loan that most lenders in town will do, and that's one of the lowest down payment loans, and it's 3.5% of the sales price. And then at the same time, you have your VA loan that's, it's a 100% loan. So you don't have to have a down payment at all. You have to come to the table with your closing costs. That's a whole nother subject right there.
Yeah, that's a whole nother
But
show,
lately,
right?
there in San Angelo, and I think in Texas in general, have been a lot of grant programs trying to promote home ownership.
Mm-hmm.
So rents are getting so outrageous in this town. A lot of times it makes way more sense to purchase a home rather than rent. So there's the SETH program that will give you a grant towards your down payment and your closing costs. The city offers programs at the same time. Not all of these have to be paid back. Sometimes in certain cases they might, And a lot of them depend on availability. Like I know that SETH program, they'll have millions of dollars to give out all throughout Texas at one point in the year, and you might check in and they'll be out until the following month or something like that.
Yeah.
And recently I've heard about a new program that it's a local bank here that they're offering 100% financing to home buyers with, you got to have a certain credit score and have an income limit to where you can't make more than a certain amount of money.
Okay.
Which most San Angeloans will fall into.
Yeah.
But they'll loan you 100% of the purchase price and fix it for 30 years. So that's what you want.
Wow. So, I guess there's some misconceptions, especially when it comes to loans and money and, how to do all that. What would you tell some first-time home buyers who are thinking, or maybe, I don't know, they're just like, oh, I don't even have the money. I don't,
You can't go just research it on the internet.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get a lot of false information. So you need to talk to local people that, talk to a coworker that's bought a house recently. Talk to a mortgage banker. Mm-hmm. Talk to a real estate agent. Those are all places where you can get information from several different sources and compile it together and see what makes sense for you.
Yeah.
So,
cool. So let's go to if you want to bring up how to search.
Yeah.
You want to bring up one of those tabs right there.
So
you can kind of walk us through.
We've got a couple of different websites, but this is ERAcom, which is super easy to get to. It's real easy to remember, the ERAcom. Mm-hmm. What it does is it feeds in all the listings from all the companies. Mm-hmm. And so if something gets listed by our company or another company, it'll show up on here. This is the way it defaults to pop up, is the newest listings first. So this is always fun for people to look at, is, these are the homes that just recently got listed, and here they are. What I like to do is, depending on if you're looking for an investor or someone that wants to find a good deal, which who doesn't?
Exactly.
You can pull it up by different date ranges. So in this other tab, I've pulled up, here's the low to high priced houses. So this is currently the cheapest house in San Angelo is this home over on North Adams.
Okay.
Here's another cool little search, is sorting them by price per square foot. So we've got another house over here that's $28 a foot.
Hey.
Yeah. And if you start looking through some of these areas in town, the average price in some areas of now is up to $128 a foot. So there's a value.
Yeah. So people really want to get those good deals.
Definitely.
And this is a way to do it.
And here we got, what is this? Oh, we got open houses. So
okay.
On ERA.com, we can also pull up all the open houses in town, whether it's our company holding them open or another company. They're all going to show on ERA.com.
Perfect. So that's kind of your one-stop shop there.
Yep.
You can find
I've created a separate URL for the open houses, and it's inside track San Angelo, and it'll take you to the open houses every single week. So
wow.
If you just bookmark that, you're going to be good to go.
Okay, so what's that website again?
It's Inside Track San Angelo.
Okay, good deal. Well, we are joined now by another special guest.
Sorry.
Hello. No
School
worries.
starting late.
I know.
Late drop-offs.
These temperatures, we were talking about them this morning. Crazy.
They are crazy.
Yeah.
Especially with it being 80 on Sunday.
Exactly. Well, grab that mic, pull it on up to you, and tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself.
I'm Robin Howell. I've been a realtor for 7-8 years.
I can't remember.
I don't enough to not count. I was a teacher. I was a teacher before that.
Yeah.
And I just love real estate, and I definitely take it from a teaching approach that I love walking my clients through every step and making sure they're comfortable and they understand the whole process. And
that
I
is
love
good.
what I do.
That is really good, because we were talking about some first-time buyer, I guess, reservations, maybe misconceptions. So what do you get a lot?
As far as misconceptions or?
Either one. Are they apprehensive about anything, or?
When you're spending that much money, even as a first-time home buyer, first-time home buyer's budget is a little smaller than some other people, but man, that's a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So even going to a lender and allowing them to run their credit and looking at houses, and we really talk about what your down payment is and what your closing costs are and all of that to make sure that everybody's comfortable. Because it's a lot of money. It's a big decision.
It is. It really is. Yeah, and I'm glad that you mentioned you walk them through all of it.
Yeah.
So what's the feedback that you get from them where, is there anything that just stands out to them like, oh man, I wish I would have known that, or now that I know that I can do this, this, and this?
There's a lot
Or
of
is it too
different
much?
things. Yeah.
You know what? One of the pieces of paper you sign when you're buying your first house or 10th house is the lenders make you sign a piece of paper that shows how much you will pay for that house if you pay it out through the 30 years and what all those payments add up to. And I remember when I got in real estate in 2006 and the interest rates were probably more than double that they are now. Yeah. Those numbers were 2 and 3, 4 times the price of the house. Interest rates now have dropped that number quite a bit because they're so low. They're in the 3 and 4% range, which is the lowest they've ever been in history, and they're staying there for several years in a row. But I always think it's interesting when you see first-time home buyers, they see that number and they're like, oh my gosh, I need to make an extra payment once a year or pay a little bit extra every month to drop that number, because you'll buy a $100,000 house and pay $200,000 for it before it's all said and done.
If you make one extra principal payment a year, that's not even your full payment, just the principal. If you make one extra principal payment a year, it takes 7.5 years off the life of your loan.
Wow.
So that's basically 7.5 years of interest that you would be paying. Yeah. So
that's
a huge difference.
That's good to know.
Dollars.
Yeah. So if you want to go into maybe some more detail,
interest rates right now are really good.
Yeah.
We don't know if they're going to stay there or not, but for now they're amazing.
Yeah.
And people need to know that just because one place quoted them a 5% interest rate, that doesn't mean that that's exactly what you're going to get. Going with a local lender is huge.
Okay.
It makes such a difference in the service you get from your lender, but I mean, we've got some great interest rates with our local lenders.
Yeah. And you can shop around.
Yeah,
you don't have to go to that one place.
Absolutely. Yeah. But if you don't know where to start, call your realtor first and say, hey, here's kind of what I want to do. Here's what we're thinking. Who do I call? Who do you recommend?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's different type of programs for, there's someone that might want to pay their house off really quick, and they might want to talk to just get a bank loan, or there's someone that wants to do that 30-year fixed rate loan, and keep the payment as low as possible. So there's a lot of different ways to do it, but it's always good to be able to sit down with your lender at their desk and talk to them. And when something comes up during the process, which it surely will, that you can call them and get them on the phone and not be subject to whatever they've got going on in their life. Like you can get a hold of someone.
Yeah, definitely. So what are some of those, I guess, the questions that you hear most often when somebody comes to you, they're the first-time home buyer, and they're just like, are they overwhelmed? What's that process
A lot of people think that they're going to need, they don't know how much money they're going to need to buy a house. And until you sit down with a lender and they look at some of the information and your tax returns and your bank accounts and all that information, you're not really going to know what you're going to need to buy a house. But it's people have in their head that they can either buy a house with zero down because of a first-time home buyer program, or they're going to need $10,000 or $20,000, and neither of those are really true. It's somewhere in between.
Typically, it's 3.5% of the value of the house.
Okay,
that's not always true. It depends on the route you're going. It depends on the best route for you, but typically that's about what you need down.
Okay, about 3%. Okay,
but in San Angelo, we're dealing with a lot of military moves. And so we're dealing with a lot of VA loans. And, if you're in the military and you're moving here and you still have your VA eligibility to buy a house, you get 0% down. So you get a 100% loan. And all you have to do is come up with closing costs for that loan, which now, like, the sellers are allowed to pay that for the buyer. So I've had plenty of closings where that buyer at closing is not only getting his $1,000 earnest money check back, but he's not bringing anything else to closing. So he's getting money at closing, which is, makes it hard to pay off in 30 years, but it does get you in a house, get you in for, they're generally here for 3 to 5 years. And with our real estate market going up in value, they're selling that house in 4 years and then they get a check.
Yeah.
That's the goal of owning a home, is to, make money.
To build equity in it.
Definitely. Wonderful. Man, this is such good information. I'm just lost taking notes in my head right now. But speaking of notes, what else? You had a list there.
Let's see what else I have. Oh, well, I have my new areas of town
Oh, yeah. Do you want to look at those?
I'm on the Home Builders Board of Directors, and we had a meeting a couple weeks ago and talked just about, new areas in town that all the development going on in San Angelo. So
there's a lot. There's a lot going on.
We'll kind of flip through these real quick,
Okay.
but this is Lakeview area. I'm not even sure who some of these builders or developers are, but I know that they've been through the process with the city and they're planning on doing something. So we've got 300 unit apartment complex, another 125 single family home lots. This is on, Armstrong and 39th. And then we've got another 17 homes right down the street.
Okay.
Oops. And then this is off Paint Rock Road, so over there close to the Air Force Base, we've got.
And you were just talking about military. That's a good area to develop.
And there's a lack of housing close to the base, especially that's affordable. This is a mix of single family and duplex lots. That there's going to be 40 of those.
Okay.
That's right off of Era Street.
Good deal. So do we know when any of these are coming, or are they they're just in the process right now?
I know that I've seen several of them, and they're clearing land. So it shouldn't be too long. I don't know if it's going to be 2020.
Okay.
That's one thing in this town that we do have a lack of right now. The market is so busy. There's not enough subcontractors to complete these houses. We've got these builders that are all using the same few framers that we have, or the same few drywall guys. I'm just being with the home builders. We've over the last 2 years spent a lot of time, and these home builders have spent a lot of their money getting this Howard College trade program going out there at Howard College, which is that's a whole show on its own. We need to bring on Nelson, who's he's the instructor out there, but it's awesome. This is out by the Bluffs. They're going to do, I don't think they're going to be tiny homes, but they're going to be very small, 900 square foot homes, 150 units, kind of behind the TLCA church in front of the Bluffs.
Good deal. Well, let's pause just for a second. We are getting some questions on our KLST page. If you want to, I'll come back to us, and then you can check your page if you want. But let's see. Okay, so Chase is asking, what am I watching? Well, that's a great question. This is only our second, second and a half episode, I guess. It's Real Estate Redefined. So it's a new show we're doing with the ERA group over here. And different realtors will come in and talk about all kinds of things. Everything real estate. Yeah,
we plan on bringing, the lenders and home inspectors, pest inspection folks. So
everything you need to know, basically, about.
We're going to try to go Monday through Friday, which is going to be tough, but we're going to just keep coming up with ideas.
Yeah, so again, we want y'all to get involved. Go to their Facebook page. You can always drop a question on our Facebook page too. So we'll get those questions answered for you. And another question from Gail is, how quickly are homes selling in San Angelo?
Well, it depends on the area and the price range, but I think, it's somewhat of a skewed stat that we have to go by, but our MLS calculates the contract period where you're waiting to close into the days on market. So we're always around, it seems like 90 days.
Yeah.
But in the price ranges of, say, 125,000 to 225,000, those houses typically are getting contracts on them within 2 weeks.
Wow.
So, it might be a 60-day days on market by the end of that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of homes selling within that first week or two on the market.
Wow. It's just the paperwork process and
correct.
stuff that kind of
you got to go through all the process to close.
Okay. Gotcha.
From the time you have a contract to the time you close is about 30 days.
Okay.
Wow,
that's pretty quick in the grand scheme of life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely.
And that process is getting shorter and shorter. I think,
It is.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's good to know. I didn't know it was that quick. Well, wonderful. So anything else? We're about out of time. We just have a few more minutes. Great topics today. We had some great questions. Y'all still leave us comments and questions, and we'll get them answered tomorrow or at some point during this show. But anything else y'all want to add, mention?
I don't know. I'll plug what we're doing at our office right now.
Do it.
We've got House of Faith has brought us by their Christmas tree.
Oh, okay.
And we've got 50 kids that are in need of, something for Christmas.
Yeah.
So what we've done is, we've done this in the past, and we've actually went out and bought the gifts, which is not that difficult to do, but the staff over at House of Faith is incredible, and they know what the kids need.
Oh, yeah.
So what we're doing now is you can either drop a check for $25 or you can pay online, and they're going to pick up their Christmas presents for them. So
Wow.
we've got 50 kids we're trying to take care of. So if you're looking for someone to help out,
Yeah.
stop by the House of Faith or give them a call. I'm sure there's others in need. So I just think it's it's just a great organization.
Yeah, definitely. And it's so easy. You pay online or you drop
Yeah.
a check off.
And
That's
they'll go find them a football or a toy or a doll or whatever.
some fun stuff. That's awesome. Well, anything else?
I don't know what you got, Robin.
We do bell ringing for
Oh, yeah.
Salvation Army.
That's
Oh,
coming
yeah.
up.
So we'll be doing that at Market Street this year.
How
And
fun. Well, good. They have a Starbucks in there, so you can get some coffee. And,
go warm
Yeah.
up for a minute
And
before we.
that's put on by the San Angelo Association of Realtors, and they
Yeah.
do, every year we'll take like either an entire week or 2 weeks, and all the different companies will get people out there every day. So
yeah.
it's depending on the weather, it's
Yeah.
it's exciting.
Fun, or burr, but
Yeah.
it's okay. It's all right. It's all for a good cause, right?
It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
On a cold day at Market Street, you get all those people coming in, getting Starbucks. They'll
Yeah.
just walk in and then they'll leave. So
Yeah. Well, just drop a few pennies, quarters, whatever you got in there. Well, thank y'all so very much for joining us. We'll be back again, tomorrow. Like you said, Monday through Friday. We're doing this Real Estate Redefined show from 10 to about 10:30. So
tomorrow we have one of the agents in our office, and then we also have she's going to come on with a builder who also does quite a bit of house flipping in San Angelo right now.
Nice.
So they're selling, 5-7 homes a month that they're flipping.
Wow.
So he'll have some good information.
wonderful. Yeah. So make sure to join us tomorrow for that. Well, that's awesome. Thank y'all so much again, and
All right.
we'll see you soon.
Thanks
Thank
a lot.
you.
Bye, everybody.